toaster. We got a toaster. A toaster is technology. The one that we have is touchscreen. Technology is kind of like an iPhone. Technology. So as we press the toast that we have and put it on a setting that we need to have, that's technology, because once it go down, it has a timer on it. Once the timer go down and it bring back up, the bread comes back up. Technology. We just have to learn how to use it. So if I was to put an egg in the toaster, I'm using the technology incorrectly. Because if I crack the egg and put the egg in the yolk, I can potentially catch a fire. It can potentially be a fire. Because that technology, that toaster is not meant to be used like that. It's not meant to be yoked like that. Reason being, because it's for bread. It's for toasters, it's for pastries. So understanding the technology that we have to use what we have to really learn the functionalities of it. For the phone, there's a lot of things on the phone that I can do. A lot of things. I just really thought about it. I can text. I can type an email. I can FaceTime. I can do so many different things on my phone. Yet it's still limited because there's a way where you can use it incorrectly. There's a way where you can't use it to this full capability, just only a little bit of it, because there's so much to learn within this phone. There's so much to learn that this software and this technology is. But I'm using it for what it's used for, and when I start to learn what it can be used for further, then I will use it further. And it's understanding, when you use what you got, you really have to study what you have. Because when you study what you have, you're open to learning new information. Artificial intelligence helps you be open to information and productivity, because you're able to see things in a different way. You're able to understand things in a different manner. You're able to recognize technology, because technology is helping you do your work. Technology is helping you be more productive, and it's helping you complete and achieve more than you could ever imagine. Just imagine if you had to type, or not even necessarily type, just imagine if you had to write 20 papers. If you had to write 20 papers by hand with no computer, with no phone, with no information, you have to write it by hand, and you have to go to the library and read the books. And once you read the books, you go back and write the paper out. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of studying. That's a lot of movement. Back in the day, you actually had to do that. I'm not that old. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of studying. And the computer class that I was in, they was just telling me that the phones back then, the phones was on the wall. The phones was on the wall. And when they tried to talk and communicate with someone, the phone that was on the wall that had the cord, they couldn't necessarily talk, because the other person that's in the house would pick it up as well. So I'm like, wow, what you mean? So now that I'm understanding, that was their technology that was able to communicate with others, but it wasn't as efficient as it is today. And understanding that the efficiency comes from technology, comes from productivity, comes from learning what it is. It helps you be consistent. It helps you identify what you would like to do and find a way to get it done. Because if you're not finding a way to get it done, now you're going against the technology, you're going against the grain, you're going against the skills, because there's something that's holding you back. There's something that's holding you back, and you don't understand what's holding you back because you're not open to learning something new. See, understanding you have to use what you have, because using what you have is starting with the information that you're familiar with. You only get better when you learn new information. I remember I was playing football, and we was practicing, and my football coach came to me. He was like, Hump, I don't think you getting it. I don't think you getting it. He was like, even though we've had countless amount of practice, we have countless amount of sessions, one-on-one, I'm talking to you, I'm coaching you, and you just not getting it. Like, I think you're a high rep guy. And by high rep guy, I'm like, when he said that, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a high rep guy. I get the information, just kind of take me time. He said, bro, that's what high rep is. It takes you a long time to learn something and fully understand it. So I'm like, oh, oh, my bad. Well, I guess it is. And when he was telling me this, it's okay to learn a lot of information. It's okay for it to take time for you to learn a lot of information, because there's a lot of information that has to be learned. And so rather than me being so hard on myself, I came to the fact that I wasn't hard on myself. I just had to learn more when I'm by myself. I had to learn things and information that I wasn't even expecting, because I have to be okay with studying and identifying what the new even is. What this new thing does for me, why is it even important? See, when I understood that it's important because it's helping me become better and more productive, I went in on I dove in on the education, because the education is helping you be more confident, help you understand, and gives you a different perspective so you don't be so hard on yourself. See, when you're hard on yourself, you don't do great. When you're hard on yourself, you doubt yourself. When you're hard on yourself, you don't think you are good enough. In reality, you're good enough. You just have to use the technology. You have to use what you have. You have to use the artificial intelligence in a way that's going to help you. It's going to help you, not hold you back. Because when you use something correctly, when I'm using this marker correctly to write on this board, you're able to see what I have in my mind and go and follow along with the points that I want to speak about. Because I'm using the tool correctly. I'm using the tool correctly. When you use the tool correctly, there's nothing that's going to stop you from growing. There's nothing going to stop you from being productive. There's nothing that's going to stop you from achieving more than you ever think. Because when you understand that something, that your time, that a learning has to be conducted, now you have to focus on what needs to be learned. See, this magazine right here about the artificial intelligence was so powerful, so